Good evening, everybody, and welcome to CSGB F2 League Racing. This is Season 2, Round 11, and we have the F2 Vietnam feature race for you tonight. Top of the table, Bowers can take the title tonight if we can get 2 points from him. That's all he needs. But qualifying, as you can see, is in the rain, which throws a massive mix in this qualifying session around an already difficult track. So the drivers will be tested to their full abilities here. Let's set some of these things up for you. Go for, don't need that right now. We'll put the full track map on. And we will see how things go. A wet qualifying. So, I don't know what the race is, whether that is wet or dry. But hopefully, for the entertainment value, it is dry and that we can have a nice, clean race. Yep, I've just been informed that the race itself is dry. So, a wet qualifying session. Will it ease off? Who will we see come out to the pits first? Or is everyone waiting for a dry spell to come in? So, let's talk through the title race this evening. We have Bowers in P1, who is 82 points clear of second, James Dovey, and will require 2 points to take the title this evening. So then we've got two Haas boys out first, of course on the intermediate tyres. As they come out to do their warm-up out lap. So it is Bradley, who is following Abzi, followed by the Williams of James Dovey, and a two Ferrari duo coming out the back. So we will ride along with the first man out, Abzi, and see where he can take himself on the leaderboard. The rain round Vietnam is not ideal at all in any circumstances. The track is very difficult. It's a brand new track for this year, but unfortunately will not be raced on in real life, due to obviously the change of calendar due to COVID-19, and has already been taken out of next year's calendar for the F1 21 season. But here we have then Abzi approaching to start the first lap of this qualifying session for this round 11 feature race. And jump on board, let's see what he can do as he banks the final corner and approaches the tight, difficult turn one. Picks the 100-metre borders braking zone, slightly out brakes himself. He's going to have to pick up a new braking zone for that corner on the next lap, but lap one is all about getting a lap in and see how it goes. Keeps it nice and tight to the inside there, and now it's down to the main straight. No DRS obviously due to the rain. As you come up to the very tight, patient hairpin, breaks the 100-metre mark again, gets the car slow down in time nicely, hooks both the curbs, and now this is all about patience. Can you line up your exit correctly? He does, and now onto the main straight. A little bit hesitant on the throttle, but that is understandable in these wet conditions. But you can see the track is starting to get a line in it. A nice line for grip. As we now approach a hard braking point, picks it up and hooks that corner nicely, slows himself down in the nick of time. Now exiting that hairpin onto the final sector as he crosses the sector 2 line. Into the S section, which is difficult enough in the dry, but how can he do it in the wet? He's okay. Can Exam get out of the way? He's going to hold him up. He does. Well done to the Williams. As we're now approaching the second to last corner. Carefully does it on the throttle. Carefully does it on the steering. He will set a lap unless he crashes to the wall here, which I don't think he will. Patience on the wall. He clearly clips the wall, but puts in a 150.9. Behind him comes Bradley, who puts in a 151.3. Followed by James Dovey, who puts in a pole time of 150.25. Here comes the first of the Ferraris, who go third in a 151. And Bowers, the leader of the championship, only puts enough to put him in 5th place, but of course it's only his first lap. We have now got an Alfa Romeo coming around the final corner. Let's see what he can put in. Peldier goes 5th above Bowers, puts in a 152.2. We jump on board with JD, the Racing Point, and see how he can do as he comes around the second to last corner. Opts to stay in 4th, so you get a power down early. Maybe would have done better shifting down, but goes 2nd with a 150.4. Sorry, 3rd with a 150.4. I believe Reznovsky has gone 2nd behind him with a 150.4, separated by 1,000th of a second, incredibly tight. But the drivers are picking up some pace. We have a Red Bull, I believe, just starting a lap. Or has he invalidated? Getting a bit wobbly. The rain is causing problems for these drivers. It's a very, very difficult circuit, and especially in these conditions. He's all over the place as Bradley leaves the session. I believe we've got Exam coming around the final corner now to finish his lap. Looks like he's hooked that up well in the final corner from all I've seen of it, and goes P6 at 150.2. Bowers is staying out. Is he going for another lap? I believe he might be with the ERS situation. But he's gone wide and invalidates, unfortunately for him. Bowers has gone to P1 with a 48.9 as he stayed out on the intermediate tyres. The top 2 in the championship are 1 and 2 in qualifying so far. 3 people yet to set a lap. We have the Red Bull of Just Mickey. He's going through this S section now. Can he set himself a lap? He hasn't validated yet. The track is drying, slightly slidey. He had a very slidey start to the lap as well. But now it's all about concentrating, just getting across that line, setting a lap time, and hoping that he can set the quicker one a little bit later on. Comes Just Mickey, sliding out the second to last corner. 4th gear down to 3rd, clips the wall, and then the outside wall as well. It's not looking particularly quick, but it's enough to set a time, and it's a 153.1 for Just Mickey. We have the Mercedes of Adam starting his lap, sliding all over the place into sector 1, but I don't suspect anything else other than that. But seems to get good exit onto the main straight as he flies down the back straight in these difficult conditions. Can he get his braking zone right? He does. Hooks that curve. Can he hit the inside one? Now it's all about being patient around this left-hander, sorry. Can he get a good exit? Looks clean to me as he now comes down a very, very long straight here in Vietnam. Well, I say straight, it's a slight curve, but it's flat out, even in these wet conditions. Adam now approaching the toughest braking spot in the game. Changes down, locks up into 1st gear, gets the car slow down just in enough time. Exam was disqualified for the session, but unfortunately Adam drops it into the wall. Hopefully he can bring the car now around to set a lap. We'll jump on board the McLaren here. He's flying into the entrance of the S section. Gear 2, Gear 3, up to Gear 4, Gear 5, and hold it in Gear 5 all the way through, up to 6 for a little while, but down to 5th again. Seems to have a bit of grip in there, does the McLaren. Just holding it into the second to last corner, keeping it on that drier bit of the track, a little bit slide into the second to last corner, but can he bring it home? Where will it put him? Is he improving? Here goes P3 with a 150.3. He's up there with the leaders and it gives himself a good 10th to those below him. Very good lap there from the McLaren. Do we have anyone approaching the line? No one I can see who's improving. There is an Alfa Romeo currently going through the S section. Here he is. Trzaskowski. Comes up to the second to last corner, nice and easy on the throttle. It's a very slidey, but keeps it up, keeps it stable. And he comes around and takes. Can he improve his P4? No, he can't. Unless that was his outlap. I have no idea. Still 2 cars yet to set a lap time, both in the pits at the moment, the Mercedes and the Red Bull. We have invalidation. Bowers is on his outlap, as is second place James Dovey. We have an invalidation from the McLaren. The Alfa Romeo of Rizanowski is sliding, but he's pushing that car to the limit. He wants to improve. And see what he can do here as he comes hurtling down the long straight. And into the tough braking section, which he nails and gets spot on. Gear 1 for the exit. It's brave, but he's got through that with a little bit of a wiggle as he comes to the end of sector 2. Down to second. Up to third quickly, short shifting his way through the gears. Trying to keep the car as stable as he can. Up to 6th gear, still 6th gear. Slides down to 4th. But it's looking very clean. And you can see the track is drying up, there's more grip out there now. But opts to pit and invalidates due to crossing the pit lane, obviously. I believe the Williams of James Dovey is on a fast lap now. So we'll stick on board with him. He needs a good qualifying. I missed out, I do apologise. Absi and the Haas has gone P2 with a 149.7. James Dovey down to first gear, stays in first gear, up to second. As he approaches the end of sector 2. Hard on the brakes. Very slippery. This track has no grip in the dry, so I can't even imagine what it's like. I know what. They're doing very well indeed, so you can keep these cars under control. Comes James and the second to last corner. Keeping it nice and tight. Keeping that throttle pinned. Does he improve? Yes, he does. P1 for James Dovey. A 148.6, beating Bowers by 0.3 of a second. A very, very good lap there from him. Do we have anyone else on a lap? Absi approaching the final corner. Can he improve on that time? Nope. I believe that may have been his cooldown lap. Let's scroll through, see if we've got the McLaren in the pits. We've got Rizanowski on his outlap. JD coming towards the S section. We'll ride on board with him, see if he can improve. Need to put. Here we go. Sorry about that. Should have had that on the whole time. have the Alfa Romeo goes into P5 with a 150.4. JD goes third place with a 149.6. A very, very solid lap. I believe there is a little bit more time maybe in this possibly for each of these drivers. I know it's very, very difficult conditions for them all, but they are doing a great job. Can the Mercedes set a lap? We will ride on board with Adam. We will ride on board as he comes hurtling down the back straight. Can he find his brake zone this time? He locks up, but he does. Let's hope he can get the exit right here. He does as well. It's looking good for Adam to finally set a lap, if he can hold it through the S section. Locks up again, but still keeps it on the track. P6, gear 6 through here. Gear 5, gear 4. To keep it nice and steady. And he does that very well indeed. Keeps it on that darker racing line you can see in front of you. Nice and simple around his second to last corner. And here comes the Mercedes. What time will Adam set? It's going to be a 150.7, which puts him in the top 10 for the race. 9th place for Adam. He left it late, but in the end he got a lap on the table. Have we got anyone on a lap? Who is approaching the... We have the racing point of JD, who is approaching the pit lane. Of course, is Riznovsky on a lap? I believe he is. Let's stay on board with him. He comes down to the hairpin, brakes hard. Gear 2, stays in it, down to gear 1, up to gear 2 for the traction. Can he improve? Can he beat his teammate? As Bradley retires in the pit lane. The correct thing to do. Riznovsky. Can he get the lap in? Because we have 30 seconds left of the qualifying. So anyone out on track doing the out laps. Here we go then, second to last corner. Will he improve? What's the clock going to say? A 49.1 for Riznovsky. Puts him into P3 as the top 3 drivers. Oh, Bowers goes P1. I must have missed that. With a 47.7, nearly knocking a second out of James Dovey's time. Very impressive from him indeed. He's put back out this lap. James Dovey's on the out lap. Is anyone approaching the finish line? We have a Red Bull. We have the Ferrari of Anton, who is a 10th and a half up. I believe that's said. Very, very squealy on the exit of that corner. Decided to take the wet line. I'm not sure if to do much favours for your tyres. But comes down to second gear. Very slightly through there. But he's pushing the car because he can do. See what he can finish. 5th. Holds it well. Got to hook up that section a little bit wide through there, but he's still going. He's still pushing. He was up in sector 1, slightly up in sector 2. Can he beat his 150.6, the Ferrari of Anton? He can, puts it P6. And Ferrari showing why they are Constructors' Champions for the F2 division here of CSGB. Riznovsky retires in the pit lane. James Dovey is a 10th up on his time, but that is not going to get him anywhere near Bowers in P1, who is gunning for this title. All he needs is 2 points, but he wants to do it in style. And good on him. But can James Dovey improve? for his own sake, or will he pull into the pit lane? He is up, he doesn't need to improve, but he's going to anyway, as he banks the final 2 turns. The track has dried up a lot since the start of the session. James Dovey does improve to a 48.3. Do we have an Urson track other than Bowers? No, we don't. And Bowers has backed off, so that is the end of our qualifying session here for this Vietnam feature race. The top 2 in the championship set the top 2 times, and they are hands down running away with this league. But, you know, with the race, anything can happen. As Bowers gives a little spin for the fans. It's not time to do donuts yet, Bowers. You might have to wait till after the race for that one, but he's showboating already. Let's just hope he can pull it round in the race. But he does take pole position, which continues with the theme of this season. Despite only taking, that's his 3rd pole position of the season in the rain. So there we have it. Bowers, P1. 5 tenths behind, we have James Dovey. Then we have Rizanovsky in 3rd. JD in 4th. Absi 5th. Anton 6th. Keir 7th. Adam 8th. Pelderagis 9th. Just Mickey 10th. Bradley 11th. Gogs 12th. And Exam in 13th place. So that is your qualifying complete. And now on to what I understand is a dry race. I do hope it is. And yep, there we have it. Dry conditions, which means the drivers can select to choose whatever tyres they want to start this race. So it could be an interesting strategical battle. This track is a easy, hard, soft, or a soft, hard strategy. But it is faster to possibly go for a soft, medium, medium. But if you are very delicate and careful, you can deal 1 stop of a soft medium. Again, I don't know the weather forecast for this race, but it's going to be an entertaining one. And I hope he doesn't disappoint. Can Bowers bring home the title? He needs 2 points. James Dovey needs a win, and for Bowers to ultimately not score any points at all to keep this open. But they start P1 and P2 on the grid. Be interesting to see what tyres everyone goes for. So here we have it. I will take you through this on the formation lap. Let me just get the right settings for you guys. Here we have it then. The strategies say medium soft soft or hard soft soft. I know for a fact that hard soft is very much doable, but we see Bowers opting for the hard tyres to start on. So he is probably going to go for a 1 stop. We have James Dovey who starts on a soft, so ultimately we should imagine him to get past Bowers on lap 1 unless Bowers can defend for what is a championship here in F2. We have Rizanovsky on the softs in the Alfa Romeo. We have JD on the Racing Point on the mediums. Absi on the mediums. Anton on the hards. Keir on the mediums. Adam on the softs. Peldir on the hards. Just Mickey on the mediums. Bradley on the softs. Gogs on the mediums. And Exam starting from the back on the medium tyres. It will be extremely interesting. There are many tyre compounds out on the track right now, so I am looking forward to what strategies can be upheld in this race and who can take home the win here at Vietnam. They've been challenged already to the limits with the rain in qualifying. But let's see and let's hope that they could take their skills now into a dry race and have a brilliant race for the penultimate feature race of the season. So now make the final few corners and we get ready for lights out here at Vietnam. Ferrari of Bowers looking for his third race win in a row after taking victory in the Azerbaijan feature race and the Azerbaijan sprint race. James Dovey didn't have the best time out at Azerbaijan, taking a 4th place and a 9th place. But Bowers says that he got the same glitch and wanted to go for softs, which is what I tried to do yesterday, which is very unfortunate, but you know, here we go then. We are looking for a decent camera angle. 4 lights, 5 lights. Are we going to get underway? The green lights are waving, and there we go. We are underway in Vietnam. This feature race, there has been an incident at the back of the grid, but James Dovey has got an excellent start as the Ferrari of Bowers drops back down the grid. Dovey by JD by Rizanovsky as the Racing Point runs wide, side by side with the Alfa Romeo. It's going to be too wide into a corner, which you shouldn't really go too wide in, but the Alfa Romeo has the ultimate grip on those softer tyres. James Dovey goes out in the lead, as you'd expect on those soft tyres. But we have a bit of a scrap on here, side by side, the Alfa Romeo and the Racing Point. You can see them there touching wheel. He's going to get a squeeze, but he leaves enough room, Rizanovsky, and pulls out to 2nd place. We'll have a look at the position changes. Where is that? We have James Dovey. Well, we don't worry about that. James Dovey is in P1, pulling away from JD in 2nd, who has got the place back. Rizanovsky in 3rd. Bowers still holding his own in 4th place, and his fellow Ferrari teammate follows in 5th. Followed by the McLaren of Kia, the 2 Haas boys in 7th and 8th. Bradley Exam has gone up from P13 all the way up to P9. He's done very well from the start. Peldir up into 10th. The Red Bull boys of Gogs and Mickey in 11th and 12th. And Adam pulling up the rear, who had a bit of a disappointing start, pulled up at the back. But we lie on board with James Dovey, who is pulling out a nice, comfortable lead. He knows what he's got to do here today. He's got to win this race and hope that other things take care of themselves back there for Bowers. But there is equal gaps between a lot of people at the moment. But there's a battle for P2. The medium tyres of JD working well for him as he pulls away from the Alfa Romeo. Still a 0.5 second gap, which is only increasing, but Bowers is jumping onto the end of this little battle. Can he get an eye up the inside of the hairpin? His exit is a little bit compromised, but he is on those hard tyres. We have a position change here. The Red Bull has got past the Alfa Romeo of Peldir. Again, the superior tyres, the medium, holding more grip. So we'll jump on board this battle here for P2 as Rizanovsky tries to rein in the Racing Point of JD. 0.5 seconds. The Haas boys have passed each other about there. Again, medium soft strategy being said to be the fastest, but we'll wait and see. I fully do expect a safety car here at some point, or at least a VSC, which could come into the hands of those trying to do a 1 or 2 stop strategy. A little bit wiggly there from JD. James Dovey setting purples, but the exit isn't good enough from Rizanovsky, and he can't take advantage of those soft tyres at the moment. James Dovey loving life out the front in the Williams. Just goes a little bit wide there. But Just Mickey pulls into the pits. Has he got wing damage? Cannot see. Yes, he does. So he is pitting for the soft tyres, which means he may probably go for a soft, hard strategy to the end of this race. But ultimately, that's going to cost him a lot of time. He's getting close in the midfield between Abzi, Anton, Bradley. 3 drivers, separated by only a second. Abzi trying to close on the back using his overtake button. He has the slipstream. Can Anton see him off? But no, Abzi pulls past with his ERS. As we go for a dive here, the Haas nearly collide. He outbrakes himself. Bradley went for an audacious move there from way far back, but Anton keeps the position and the field stays the same. So we have a 3.8 second gap between P1 and P2, separated by a second out of the DRS zone with the Alfa Romeo. Bowers a similar distance behind, and the gaps just keep on getting bigger. We have a battle in his midfield, which we should stay interested in. We'll stay on board with the Ferrari of Anton, Bowers' teammate. Bowers isn't looking here to do any team play of slowing the Haas down, but the Haas may be looking to deploy a team strategy here. See if he can be backed off into Bradley behind. Bradley's having a look, but Anton is still managing to hold him off on those hard tyres. But he does have DRS now, they both do. If I was driving now, I'll be patient and wait for the main straight, but I see some front wing flying off. Did I? No, I believe it's just some particles in the air, whatever that was. But here we go then, a 3-man train down the big long straight. This is going to be tight going into that final hairpin. Abzi leading the way, not using any of his overtake button. Anton has almost used his whole thing up, and Bradley has used his whole overtake button up. So it's going to be interesting to see who can get past here. Can anyone make a move? Anton's looking to, but no one's brave enough to take the dive down the inside. And maybe the correct decision, but Abzi goes wide and lets through the Ferrari. Anton takes that position after a mistake from the Haas. And Bradley can't get the exit, but Anton has overtaken Abzi for P5 here. Can he pull away? Abzi does have the advantage on the tyres. Anton a little bit wide through there, nearly clipping the wall, but he keeps it straight and he gets back on with the job. Abzi trying to send down the inside there. That's not the best place to do it. But he's locked up and Bradley takes the inside. Abzi 2 mistakes in 2 sectors has cost him 2 positions there. He's dropped down to 7th position from 5th. And now he's got the McLaren of Kia to deal with now. But can he come back at his teammate? At the moment not looking likely, but Bowers is pulling in on the back of Renevsky. Let's see if he can get him on any DRS straight here. Renevsky should have the grip on those tyres, but Bowers has the ultimate pace in this division, proving why he is ultimately, at this rate, going to be crowned champion of F2. A little bit of a lock-up there on the hard tyres, but it shouldn't cost him any time at all. He has a lot of ERS saved up, and he gets the better exit here as Renevsky goes wide, has to correct himself. Bowers hammers it down the straight. He might get the job done before the DRS opens, so he should sail past. Renevsky goes inside. Bowers keeps the outside and gets the move done very, very easily indeed. And now he's chasing the pack in front of him, but he knows he's got a job to do. Let's keep it easy, keep it simple, and he'll be able to do a simple one-stop onto the hard. We have a position change back here for 11th. Easy pass again for the Mercedes on the Alfa Romeo. Anything heating up? Not at the front, not at all. James Dovey is in a world of his own out there at the front. It'll be interesting to see if he goes for the hard tyres or the mediums on his stop. But he is cruising around 5.8 seconds, 5.9, pulling away up to the 6 seconds now. And he's looking very comfortable indeed. But Bowers is doing his job. He knows what he's got to do, and he's doing it very well indeed. JD, 6 seconds behind, just getting even more further behind as well. But those soft tyres will die very soon indeed. as the battle for 5th place continues as Absi goes deep again into another corner. Anton and Bradley are pulling away from Absi, but Absi's pulling it back slightly. Bradley has done his job. He's now gaining on the Alfa Romeo of Rinovsky, after getting past his teammate and the Ferrari. Has a superior pace over these two, but these two are battling it out as Kier, like I said, is going to jump on the back of this one, and we're going to have another 3-man train into the hairpin down this back straight. It's all about who can get the exit. It's very wobbly. It's very, very touchy. As Anton makes a mistake and Absi gets through already. Will he have the DRS? I'm not entirely sure. Let's see here. Nope. Anton has got the DRS, but Kier has the better run of that corner. Can Kier get 2 positions on one? Into one? No, he decides not to and backs out. Sensible thing to do. He knows there's a long time to go in this race. He's got the pace to jump on the back, and maybe Absi may make another mistake again. The pit window, I would say, for the soft tyres is from lap around 7 to 10, depending on how much dirty air you've got into and how much graining they have got. That would be to change onto the hards. But we do have 2 people on the pits already. We have Anton in the pits on the hard tyres. Does he have wing damage? I can't think of any other reason as to why he may go into the pits on the hards already. But Tilden jump in. He does have wing damage indeed. The Williams of Exam, does he have wing damage? Is that why he's jumping in the pits as well? I can't see. They're changing your front wing. So yes, they do. They both opt to go onto the soft tyres. And that means they will have to pit again eventually at some point. But these two scrapping. That's Bradley and Rizanovsky. As Rizanovsky just drops back even further down the field after having a very good start, I must say. But this is the closest battle we've got at the moment. And Bradley is going to pass with ease. Ball? No. He's not choosing to use his overtake button, but they are now. They're side by side. Very brave, very close. Will Rizanovsky fight back in the brake zone? No, he won't. He'll drop in behind. Bradley, little bit of a lock-up. Does Rizanovsky take it? Does he want to fight it? They're definitely side by side. Not the most ideal place to go side by side. But Rizanovsky decides to pull out. But he doesn't. They're side by side still, and he nearly clips the wall. But the pass of Bradley keeps the position, and a very good fight going on here for P4. Bradley just slightly pulling away. Has the Alfa Romeo got wing damage? No, he doesn't. Interesting. Just backs off, gives himself another run at it, but he's out of DRS range now, which is not ideal. Jazz James Dovey increases his lead at the front. He's under no pressure at all at the moment, so any mistake is going to have to come out his own back. And I cannot not see him taking the win here. He's got 7 seconds to play with, and as you can see, he's taking it nice and smooth. He's got plenty of ERS saved up for when he wants to enable it. But apart from the race, P6 now, between another Haas and the Kia. The Haas are making a lot of entertainment today, as they do for more in a comical sense in the real world. But here today, they are scrapping for position after position. Let me just have a quick look to see where the Haas team are in the standings for the F2 Constructors Championship. They're currently sat in P8. Well, they're definitely creating a lot of entertainment, as these two are now jumping onto the back of Rizanovsky, and Rizanovsky is falling through the field. He had a very good start indeed. He did. But now it's a battle for P5 with 3 drivers. As Bradley jumps into the pit, as the Alfa Romeo, they're opting for the P7, but Bradley gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It is very slow, it comes off a quick corner, but that may ultimately cost him at this rate. So we have Bradley into the pits, Wisnowski into the pits, and Adam into the pits. Will they go for the hard tyres? Let's just wait and see. And Abzi taps the back of the McLaren. Clearly broke a little bit too late there, but he stops and lets him get on with it. Has that cost him wing damage? I don't know. It doesn't look like it has. But what it has done is it's let the Red Bull onto the back of this little train. But Bowers is closing in on JD. Those hard tyres coming into their own now, sort of matching the pace of the mediums. Can he close in? Can he close the gap? We shall see. He has got the DRS wide open, not close enough to make a move into the hairpin. But these two fighting is what James Dovey needs. He needs, ultimately, a crash with Bowers. But at the moment, Bowers playing safe, doesn't need to push too hard, doesn't need to do anything risky. If he brings it home here, he comfortably takes P1 in the championship. As Bradley, you can see this new implemented feature from Codemasters, which, to be honest, as a commentator, is very, very helpful. You can see who's picked up penalties, and so far on this grid, he is the only one. But he is on the new medium tyres. Bowers gets past JD for P2 on those hards. Will JD come back at him? But ultimately, it looks like Bowers has the grip. And it's just pulling away now. There will be DRS, of course, which may rein him in for the second DRS zone, which it probably will. So we'll stay on board with this as we come into the back straight. We'll jump on board with JD to see if he can get a good run off. He's got plenty of ERS in store. Will he fight it, or will he let him go? He's not deploying his ERS right now, as Bowers pulls away to 1.1 seconds. I don't think JD is willing to fight this. He knows Bowers has the pace. But is James Dovey going to pit this lap? Those soft tyres must be squealing at him now. But he hasn't had any dirty air, so he may be able to make a soft medium stick here. But he doesn't need to. He's plenty of time in hand, and he can definitely make a soft hard easy to the end. Is he going to dive into the pits? Yes, he does. Don't get a penalty, and he doesn't. Takes it nice and easy. So Bowers will take the lead of this race on those hards as he's locking up again. As JD jumps into the pits as well, I'm sure he's going for the... Can't be going for the softs. So he may be doing a two-stop. And there we have it. Bowers into the pits, followed by JD, and James will come out. Will he come out in second place? I imagine he will. But here we had train. This could work into Bowers' hands if James gets stuck in traffic, which he doesn't, as James gets out in second place. Very handy for him that he doesn't get caught up in the traffic. And McLaren goes into third. Red Bull of Gogs into fourth. But look at JD. He's come out in this train of... He's gone to the soft. He's up for the soft, so he's doing a medium soft strategy. Because he obviously got this fresh set of softs for... that they weren't using qualifying due to the wet weather conditions. But the only close fight here is between a free ticket penalty for Bradley, unfortunately, to multiple warnings. But this is the only DRS battle we currently have. Fourth place, Red Bull of Gogs is ahead of Abzi. He does have DRS. Late on the brakes. And just pulled a little bit closer to the Red Bull. We're both on 10-lap old mediums, as is Kerr. JD is coming back quickly at the Haas boys. And I don't think it'll be too long as the Alfa Romeo drivers are scrapping with each other. I missed that. But the Wisnowski gets past his teammate, I imagine, on the newer set of medium tyres and will pull away from him quite quickly, I imagine. But JD coming onto the edge of the Haas boys, up into the second to last corner. I imagine he'll get him on this straight. If not, he'll wait for the next one. DRS enabled. Little pump of DRS just to get him an exit. He's not going to make a move into this corner. JD up the back, putting pressure on the Haas. The Haas goes deep, but keeps the position for now. But JD on those brand new soft tyres is ultimately going to get past at some point here. You can see that Bradley is lacking grip, but shouldn't be doing that on 2-lap-old tyres. Bradley's going to squeeze him, but then opens the door. It allows JD to go through, but will Bradley come back at him in the next DRS zone? I imagine they're going to be close enough. Oh, a little look up the inside from Bradley. Nearly clipped the back of him. Force him to pull out, which may ultimately end in him not being able to close the gap up here. 0.8 of a second. Will Bradley close the gap? But we don't. We have movement up here for P3 between the guys that still need to pit. P3, 4 and 5, all on 11-lap-old medium tyres. Very tight, very close. Who's going to blink first in this battle? Still a few more laps to go left on these tyres. Let's see. Gogs, Kia blinks first, goes into the pits, which gives the Red Bull P3 and Abzi P5. What tyres is he going to go on to? I'm going to guess... Tell you what, I'm not going to guess because I'll probably be wrong. JD reclaims 5th position. And he goes for another... He goes for hard tyres, so he's doing a medium hard. That should take him to the end. As he drops down the field. But currently we sit with Bowers in P1. James Dovey in P2, who is very much within a pit stop of Bowers. We have Gogs in P3, Abzi P4, JD P5, Bradley P6, Exam in the Williams in P3, Anton in P8, Wisnowski P9, Kier P10 after his pit stop, Peldir in P11, Adam, who was pitted in P12, and Mickey in last place in P13. But still needs to pit. But he has pitted once already due to wing damage. But it's getting close here between JD and Abzi. He's going to put the pressure on him. Not through here. It's not the best place to make a move. But Abzi, you can see, is struggling for grip in comparison to those new, fresh, soft tyres. Abzi pulls into pits, and I think that's the correct thing to do after looking at the grip he is lacking. And JD will take 4th place here. As he comes onto the edge of Gogs, who still needs to pit. So the field starting to regain its shape from the start as the pit stops happen left, right and centre due to the different compounds of tyres. Abzi drops into the pits and drops down to... We will see after these lot pass the... It's going to be tight on the exit, but he holds P10. JD now coming up to Gogs. Those soft tyres, he has got a lot of speed on him. Enables the very little DRS that he has. JD will sail past once that DRS flap opens. And he does quite comfortably. And takes P3 in this feature race. The field very spread open now. Just waiting for pit stops to catch up with themselves. And we should get a good understanding where this race will finish. I would say about 5 laps time. But we are on lap 15 of 28, just hit the midway mark. And the top two are the top two in the championship. But James Dovey ultimately holding on to this net P1 as we see Gogs jump into the pits for his new set of tyres after going 13 laps on the mediums, and that allows Bradley to regain his position, but is carrying that penalty. Bowers now lap 14 onto those hards, could probably go on to the softs in about 2 or 3 laps time if he just wants to play it safe, or could pit earlier for the medium tyres, but it's up to him. He's doing his job, he knows what he's got to do, and he's doing it well. And then we come out on exit, it'll be tight on the exit. 3 cars wide. Who's going to get the DRS? The Haas pulls out. Absi. Oh, but a little bit of a wobble from the Red Bull, which allows Absi back in at him. It's going to go side by side in this corner. Both got DRS wide open. Absi tries to hold the inside, but great move there from the Red Bull of Gogs. Holds the inside line, takes it, but now goes wide on the exit, which will allow the Haas back at him. Oh, it's very tight here for a battle for P10. Everyone wants that point. But Absi is gunning it for the DRS. He has a DRS too. And should get his move done, unless Gogs is going to fire it on the inside, which he doesn't. We have Kia now coming onto the back of Anton on his new hard tyres. Anton Sauce probably starting to lose a lot of grip now, 8 laps in. As, there we go, Anton goes into the pits to take off those soft tyres, which will allow Kia upper position. He's taking those hard tyres right to the end. But in front, Bauer still chasing for his title. Currently 82 points clear, and he is sailing towards this F2 title. He hasn't been held up in any traffic. He's played it smart. He did say that he didn't really want to start on the hards. There's a new glitch that's come up with this new update, but he's making it work for himself. 15 laps in, he's doing the job that's required of him. Then behind him is an 11-second gap to James, and a 10-second gap to JD. There's 2.2 of a second here. Again, that battle for 10th place is hotting up. Every point counts, every point's a fight, every position is a lot more impressive as Adam gets past Absi for P8. Slight lock-up, and we've got a little 3-horse race on here as they approach Sector 3. Adam can he get 11 watt? It's going to be very touch and go if he takes those mediums to the end. I doubt he will, especially with this dirty air. But Absi is trying to fight his position back, and Gogs wants a bit of the action too. As Exam in the Williams pits. He's done 8 laps on his softs. Let's see what he changes to. The medium tyres are out for him, so he's taking them to the end for the last 11 laps. Correct decision there, making it safe, hopefully trying to get some points. He's going to have a battle on his hands as the scoreboard updates itself. We have the Red Bull of Gogs trying to go down the inside. It's side by side into this corner, it's going to be tight. But Gogs keeps the position. Will he have the DRS? Let me see. It's getting very entertaining down here. He doesn't. Neither does the Haas. But the Williams of Exam gets past Absi on those brand new medium tyres. And I imagine he'll probably get past Gogs here as well if he can get the grip out this final corner. Gets the power down nice and early. Absi has fallen off the back of him. He isn't employing his ERS yet. He does now. Grabs open his DRS. But Gogs has it from Adam in front of him. For Exam, as you can see, has that more pace, but isn't close enough to make a move just yet. as we now have a four-way train for P7. The battle is for. Can go close in onto the back of Adam on the older medium tyres. It looks like he is. So he's in gear 6. Uses the engine braking to slow himself down. As Bradley jumps into the pits from the medium tyres, 8 laps old. Has he got wing damage? No, he doesn't. He's just serving his penalty and going on to the soft tyre to the end. So 10 laps to go. Bradley comes out down the field, but he'll have a lot more tyre grip than the rest of the field, as this battle is getting entertaining now. We have the Red Bull in the lead. It's choppy and changing as he outbrakes himself, and the Williams of Exam comes through. Wow, look at this. This is racing at its very best. Hopefully this doesn't end in tears. But these lot are put on a show at the moment. It's the Williams from the Red Bull, from the Mercedes, from the Haas. Mercedes faking one down the inside, but the Red Bull holds him off well. As we now go on to another 4-man DRS train led by the Williams. Is anyone close enough to make a move? The Mercedes going for it for the inside of the Red Bull. A little bit of contact, he touches the wall, clips the inside. The Red Bull is not giving him enough room there. And I imagine that is ultimately wing damage for the two of them. Yep, the Red Bull has wing damage. The Haas, can he take advantage of this? He does, clips down the inside. But the Mercedes and the Red Bull have probably cost themselves a position there or two, and they're still fighting, go to this corner. Oh, that's not very good from the Red Bull. He's gone down the inside, he's clipped him. And what I said would end in tears actually has. And that was people getting a bit too greedy for a position there. You've got to keep your space to each other as the Red Bull goes into the pits, as does the Mercedes. Accidentally drops into neutral, but wing damage there has not helped their cause at all. And that was a mistake from the Red Bull, I believe, just not giving the Mercedes enough room down that left-hand side, and ultimately puts them into the wall. As you can see, absolutely go wide. Bowers has now pitted. I missed that in all that action. He's only 6.5 seconds behind with 9 laps to go. And I'm telling you now that those soft tyres are definitely more than a second a lap quicker than those hards. So this could get tasty up in here. James Dovey is back in the lead, but that gap is only decreasing. As you can see, that delta time is dropping. Bowers is pushing. Let's jump on board and see what Bowers does. He's pushing. He wants to finish this championship now, and he wants to do it in style. He's locking up, he's pushing, you can tell. Still got 50% of his ERS left. As JD jumps into the pits on 7-lap-old softs, but he should have enough time to get out and keep hold of his podium position. But as you can see, Bowers is just taking time and time out of that Williams of James in front. James has driven an absolutely solid race, but don't get me wrong, Bowers is coming back here quickly. For someone who did not want to start on the hard tyres, he is making it work, and look at him, he is setting purple sectors after purple sectors. He's not messing around as JD keeps his position in third after coming out the pits. Bit of chop and changing for P4, sorry, as the Williams and McLaren getting very close. 3-second gap behind them. I will stay on board for this for now. As you can see on the scoreboard that the pitting of Rizanowski is glitching out the scoreboard, but we carry on with this. 2-lap-old mediums versus 6-lap-old hards. I know which ones I'd rather be on. As Exam has to run on the McLaren here and should get this job done fairly straightforward indeed, which he does. I don't think the McLaren's going to fight that particularly much back to the inside, and he's not. Slots in behind And Williams currently sat in P1 and P as Bowers 4, but Bowers, he's coming onto the back of James Dovey. He is eating time out of him so quickly indeed, and it won't be long. Maybe this DRS straight, maybe the next one, as he regains the lead of this race. And it's just down for him to pull it home with 7 laps to go. That reverse strategy has paid off incredibly well on his part. He's not using any ERS. James goes defensive, but I don't think Bowers has ascended there, and he doesn't. He's playing it safe. He knows what he's got to do. It's unfortunate for James Duffy because he's driven an absolute blind of a race. Steamed off at the start. Here we go. I didn't think it was going to come to this, to be honest, after seeing the start that James had. But James pulls over, takes the inside line, and Bowers sails through into P1. And these two, P1 and 2 in the championship, now P1 and 2 on track. And they lead the rest of the field by 26 seconds. Two very quick drivers putting on a show today and staying out of trouble. But Bowers is just going to pull away now and not hoping for any more mistakes. He should bring home this championship. And with 7 laps to go, it's side by side into the hairpin again. Here comes the McLaren. Is he going to make a move? No, he doesn't. As the McLaren just sits behind Bradley. Bradley does have a 5-second penalty, but I'm not sure if he served it in the pits or not. But James has jumped into the pits. Is he going for the fastest lap, I imagine? I imagine he is. Do you put on some softs? Yeah, he is. I imagine James is going for the extra point. Going for the softs. He knows he's got time. He might as well have some fun. But JD is coming around this final corner. But James comes out with plenty of time ahead. And puts on new soft tyres, which pretty much gives Bowers a pit stop advantage. And as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, it's his title to take. Again, the Haas is providing the entertainment in terms of the racing and the overtaking front. As Bradley has DRS on Williams, breaks into the right-hander, then the left, taking a lot of curb. He should take the Williams on this straight. He has enough ERS. The Williams exam is not deploying just yet. You can see the Haas coming up the inside of him. What? Bradley's just pushed him into the wall? I don't think... Oh, sorry, I missed that. I don't think the Williams is going to be too happy with that. But seems to come out of it unscathed. But Bradley gets past. But it does look like he forces his way through there. When there's plenty of room on that inside. But Bradley takes P4 in this race. And that Williams is going to come hard. He's going to fight hard. But I don't think he's going to have the grip to compete with the soft tyres. Everyone else is separated by at least 1.5 seconds now. As we approach the last 5 laps. 6 laps of this race. Yep, Bradley just pulling away now. There have been a few penalties. Oh, Bradley got a 3-second penalty for corner cutting or track limits, so I imagine he will need to pull away 3 seconds. He's got 1.5. He's going to pull away an extra, another 1.5. As just Mickey gets past the Haas of Habsy. As James has put on those new soft tyres. Puts in that purple sector 2. Will he take the fastest lap at the end of it? I'm sure he may. Oh, Alb's disconnected. That is why he's falling down the pack. I seem to have missed that, but he has rejoined to take control of his car. James comes to second to last corner. Can he pick up the extra point for the fastest lap? He sure is pushing. Keeps it in 5th. I'm not sure he did, you know. Don't think he did. Faster lap. Yep, still goes to Bowers for 36.6. And now I seem to have lost the interval section, which is not great. But as you see on the map on the right, it is very spread out as we go through the field. Kier gets a 3-second penalty. But Rizanowski is nowhere near behind him at the moment. The Red Bull passing each other. And that's fairly easy for Gogs to get past Mickey. Red Bull boys working together. Sat in P7 in the Constructors' Championship. And sat in P8. Gogs, who are on board with now in P8 in the championship, and behind him Mickey in P13. But Bowers out in the lead still, doing what he has done all this season. 10 wins, 15 podiums. Only 2 pole positions, but it's 3rd if you count today. He's doing what he needs to do. Anton at the back, going for a move on Adam. I'm sure he'll get that done. Into the S section. Good to see him still fighting, despite being at the back of the grid. He was doing very well. He must have got some damage or something. Just dropped down. Second last corner. When he goes the DRS straight, he hasn't quite remembered the tyres that he's on. He's going to go down the inside here. It's tight, but Adam gets in the room. Could have waited a little bit longer, but he thought, nah, I'm getting past him now and I'm driving off into the sunset, and that's what he does. As Bowers is about to start lap 16 of this Grand Prix. And I can't see anyone taking that crown away from him. Adams fought that position back. I imagine with DRS big lock up, but Anton gets the switch back complete. Very nice move. Patience. That's what you require. Force the mistakes of your opponents and take advantage of the mistakes that they make. Nice little battle at the back there for them too. Keep each other entertained. Even this late onto the race, it's good to see. Good to see they're still fighting. Bowers coming through the S section, taking his time. 7 lap old tyres, they should be okay with the fuel load at the moment, and the time he's on. Everyone separated by, oh, I'll tell you a lie. Here comes Absy again on Just Mickey. It's been a battle in this middle section of the field all day. We'll have to get him in a straight. 10 lap old softs Mickey is on. He should get by here. He's using all his overtake button, leaving 6% left. DRS open. Will Just Mickey let him past? But he's not going to make it easy for him. He goes on the inside. He completely outbrakes himself, Absy. And Mickey does exactly what we just saw Anton do a couple of laps ago. Complete a switchback. But Absy drops all the way back to the back end of the field. We now have a three-way fight for P11. Who would have thought it? James Dovey still in P2. Look at this for action. It's good to see. Anywhere you look on the grid, there's been action today. Bar P1. The alternate strategy, of course, caused that. But I will jump back. I'll tell you what, I'll stay with this for now. We'll jump back on board with Bowers. We'll see his final lap. The DRS is wide open for these three drivers. A little bit of a lock-up. These three scrapping it out. They're not giving it any less than they can. Medium, soft and hard tyres. All at a relatively similar level to each other at the moment. Imagine Anton's got the advantage. Here we go, 3 wide. It is into this turn. Oh, that is tight. Stay on board. Who's going to get the better exit? It is the soft tyres of Anton. He got to move down earlier on, but they're just going to come back at him twice as fast. As Bowers starts his last lap of this Grand Prix. As Adam passes Anton again. Hold the inside. Anton's going to get a better exit. Will he get the switch back again? No, he doesn't. And that's just allowed the Haas in even further. Bowers now coming through to complete Sector 2 on what has been an amazing drive. 21 seconds clear of James. Well, James, of course, pitted again for new soft tyres. He comes through the S section one final time. He knew what he had to do today. All he needed was 2 points. 2 points and more is what he's going to get. In fact, he's getting 26 points. Second to last corner. The Ferrari, already constructor champions. Bowers just weaving side to side into the last turn. Doing a bit of showboat. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. I'll tell you what, that is karma. What has Bowers just done there? James Dovey is going to take the lead, and that's going to take the title to the end of the season. Bowers is showboating at the end of his race, and he's crashed out. That is, well, these things just don't get written. I mean, Bowers, after doing so well from the start of the race, starting on the hard tyres, what on earth has Bowers just done? I'm complete shock there. I did not expect to do that, and he has bottled that. Unless he was making it interesting, but I don't think he was. He just dropped the car into the wall, lost his tyre. And James Dovey takes the win in the Williams. From JD in P2, Bradley in P3, Exam in P4, giving Williams a P1 and P4. Rizanovsky, he battled very well this race, to be fair to him. He did. He was up and down the grid. He had a few problems, but takes 5th place. Very respectable. Kier was there in the middle pack the whole time, and McLaren takes 6th. Gogs has some amazing battles today. P7. Mickey, P8. Peldier, P9. Adam, P10. But Bowers. I'm not sure what to say, my man. the F1 commentator has put it in a wall on the last lap. But James Dovey takes a win for the first time since the Hungarian feature race, giving him his fourth win of the season. Ultimately, that was a crazy end to the race. No idea what he was doing. Bowers threw it in the bin. I have no idea what was going on. Well, that was a very, very entertaining race. Here's your final standings. James, JD, Bradley, Exam, Rizanovsky, Keir, Goggs, Just Mickey, Pelderagis, Adam, Anton, Abzi, and Bowers. I have no idea what to say. I have no words for that. I think you know what you are, Bowers. You know what you are. You put on a great show for everyone. Put a great show on for me. Just to throw it away like that. And I believe that leaves it open for the sprint race tomorrow at 7 o'clock, I believe. Join me back here for that. Guys, that was entertaining. That was a crazy finish. I thought we were going to see a championship finish there today. But, as you can see, anything can happen. The race is not finished until it's finished. And 10 metres from the finish line, Bowers ploughs into a wall and loses his wheel. Unbelievable. But it has been a very, very enjoyable watch. A very, very enjoyable race. I thank you all for joining. Thank you all for spectating. And I would like to invite you back tomorrow for the sprint race of the reverse grid of this one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.